for perhaps a job, but two, if you plan to go on, sometimes you need a professor's recommendation. And I know I'm happy to do that, and I believe Professor Nance is as well. We're cheaper. Does that mean you get a lower or a less education? No. It just means that you pay less. We have to offer the same type of class that you could get in a four-year institution. We have to. That's law. I think we do a better job at it, but it's less expensive, so less debt. Especially every time I read students are graduating with $100,000 worth of debt. That's horrible. So we're less expensive. I think accounting classes are the only classes that tend to be 4 units. There's 2 of them. They're your core classes. Also, we have some great resources. So in addition to talking to your professors, we have a counseling center, and if you sign up for A2B has their own counselor for transferring. So that means that long wait to get to a general counselor is shortened. We have the Learning Center. How many of you have been to the Learning Center, 2nd floor? Awesome place. In addition to tutoring in accounting business, you can also come and speak to us, the professors. I'm here in the afternoon. I love when students come and talk to me. And there's other support programs. I've heard EOPS, TRIO, a variety of resources. This one, really important. Resume writing. I can't tell you how many times I get an email from an employer stating, I'm looking for someone for part-time accounting. And I'll announce it in my classes, and students will not have, they want to get the job, they don't have a resume. You need a resume in order to present yourself to a future employer. And that's something that our Career Center does. They actually have a program. Not to mention, I'm happy to look it over. And I know the other professors are as well. We also have a transfer center in addition to A2B and English as a second language. We have a lot of resources here. So you have the opportunity to meet with individuals who are experts and can actually help you. Any questions about this so far? Is it good? Okay. We also have veteran services. So if you're a veteran, I want to first thank you for serving, but we also have a location on the 3rd floor, I believe, 2nd floor.
So it's called the Veterans Resource and Opportunity Center. So it's its own area dedicated to veterans or dependents of veterans. So if your mom or dad or your guardian was a veteran, you can also access that space. So it's a study place. It's an opportunity to get some vouchers for transportation of books. They work with admissions and records. So for services outside of that and services through Cañada as an institution, admissions and records is also a part of veteran services.
Thanks, Tim. Also, we have student clubs, volunteer opportunities. I know for myself, when I offer some extra credit, it's usually community-based. So we have that as an institution as well. All right. So what kind of degrees can you get here at Cañada College? Well, most of you have heard of transfer. That's 60 units. That's generally your general education and maybe some major work. But not all students have the time frame to do 60 units continuously, right? You're working, you have families. So we offer what we call certificates. That is generally just major work. For example, the lowest number of units required for a certificate is the bookkeeping certificate. It's the entry-level bookkeeping. It's currently 12 units, so if you get in now, you can get one for 12 units, considering making it 15. But it's currently 12 units, so you take Accounting 100, you take QuickBooks, you take, I'm not sure if you take a business class, I think you take a business class, and a payroll class, and you have a certificate. So what does that mean to an employer? Well, one, it shows that you have a concentrated study in accounting. You, hopefully, as an individual, can slip in to a part-time job and work as a bookkeeper? I make certain you do, because I am a working accountant. I don't work now, but I started at the lower level, so I know what a bookkeeper needs, and I make certain, it's rather rigorous, as my students can tell you, but I make certain you walk out with a deliverable. So most certificates are stackable. What does that mean? That once you would take, let's say, your entry-level bookkeeping, you have a majority of classes. Those classes are also listed for the next certificate in line. So that could be a payroll certificate or an accounting certificate. What it means is once you have the bookkeeping certificate, a majority of your classes have already been completed. So many students graduate here from Cañada with a bookkeeping certificate, with a certificate in accounting, as well as they go on for their AA, and they have an associate's in accounting. So you can stack them on top of each other. Many of the classes are the same, and they apply for different certificates. So these are generally your major work, 30 units. I have a lot of students who come in for a certificate, get a little confident, and realize, I can do the AA. I can transfer. So we start you off with some certificates. It's a wonderful opportunity. As I mentioned earlier, associate's degree. This is where you're going to have to start taking your general education, your math, your English, humanities, sciences. And then we have something unique, which you may not know of, associate degree for transfer. So this is an AD, D as in dog, ADT. What the state of California realized was that students who were moving from a community college to a four-year institution, sometimes the four-year institution did not accept a general education class. So what did that do? That increased the cost for students, and it took you longer to finish your bachelor's. So the state of California got together with community colleges and with California state universities, and we agreed upon certain classes that cover certain things. So that if you have an ADT in business administration, you will not have to take a lower division class. It's already been agreed upon. So if you're thinking about an AA in business, look into the ADT. You won't have to be concerned about something not transferring and counting at a four-year institution. And remember, always check with your four-year institution, especially if you're going to a UC, because I think UC to Cañada tend to have a little more problems, but a UC to a CSU, that's your ADT. Okay, so what are our top majors? Nursing, early childhood. I like to focus on 3, 4, and 6. Business, accounting have the top, we're in the top 10. So business management, business administration, and accounting. That's what most students are here for. So you're in the right place. In addition to having a lower unemployment rate, accountants tend to be recession-proof. Why? Because when we go into a recession, it's generally because somebody has messed with rules, we get more laws, we need more accountants to keep track. So, accounting. How much money can I make? So remember, we're living in an area that is highly competitive, Silicon Valley. But according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, so that's a government agency, these are the salary ranges. Market research analyst. Yes, it's marketing, but it's also analysis, so accounting will help you there. Operations research analysis, accountant, financial advisor, business operations. Remember, these are ranges. Generally in this area, salaries tend to be a bit higher, but on the downside, there's also more competition. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, here's my accounting part. I mentioned a little bit about the entry-level bookkeeper. We also have a payroll specialist certificate and an accounting certificate. In addition, for business, we also have an AS in accounting. And then I believe for business, we have a certificate in business administration. This is very general. Then we have entrepreneurship and small business management. You can't get away from accounting because we teach you what the numbers mean. And we have an associate's in science for business. We have one in business management and the ADT. Remember, if you take something away, remember there is an ADT if you plan on going to California State University. In addition to the business and accounting classes, students tend to overlook our computer business office technology. Why? Because you think you can type, and I say you think you can. Remember, in addition to typing, you need to have a certain speed. Why? Because you get things done quicker. So one of the worst hazards I have in teaching QuickBooks is that students don't know how to type. Meaning, they can't watch the board and just type. They tend to hunt and peck, slows down the class. Remember, somebody is not going to pay you to type. So you need to learn how to do that quickly, and you can take online things. They're free. Practice your typing. Get up to at least 40 words a minute. It's good for you in the long run because when you're typing up your own papers, it's going to take you less time, right? How many of you who can type without looking at your keyboard? Good, good. All business major and accounting majors should know how to do that. So we have a couple of certificates of achievement. Customer service and general office. These are new. So we give you a new opportunity. Administrative assistant, administrative support assistants. So imagine you want to work in an office, but you don't know where. You're still going to school, but you want to go into business. We will try to get you prepared for those jobs. We introduce a lot of technology, business technology. What does that mean? We have QuickBooks, we have PowerPoint, we have Excel. All of you should know how to use Excel. Whether you're in accounting or not, Excel, Excel, Excel. Advanced Excel if possible. We have database classes. These are all classes that you should know as an office. Everybody should know, but if you're going to work in an office, we want to prepare you for that. Customer service, how do you interact with people? Have you ever had a bad customer service experience? You don't forget it, right? Somebody yelled at you on the phone. You're like, what? So you need to learn certain things. Telephone techniques, how to avoid conflict, how to resolve conflict. We also have an Associates of Science degree in both administrative assistant and administrative support assistants. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you the difference right now, but we could look it up in the catalog. How to get